we shall thank Bhagwan heartily, soulfully, for all the blessings we receive from him, especially for this grace, the grace of being able to sing without missing the session. The grace of being able to sing without missing the session. No matter how much we express our gratitude, it would still be inadequate for all that he does. Yet, we must make an attempt to thank him, and that we'll keep doing. Now, in the beginning of the ashram, after Bhagwan shifted to Sudama, the work started. Bhagwan had given one important instruction to Shri Mani, the then trustee, that the work should continue and not stop even for a day. So Shri Mani was managing it day after day after day. At one point, the Swagat Mandap work was getting over. The 94 Jayanti itself, Bhagwan shifted in 93 November on the 22nd, and then the 93 December we celebrated in the ashram ground. The 94 December 1st we celebrated in the Swagatam Mandap. The construction of Swagatam Mandap was over with the flooring and the roof. The selection for the flooring was the black granite done by Bhagwan himself, and it was the celebration, the Jayanti celebrations took place right there, the Swagat Mandap. As more and more devotees began to come, the water requirements for the ashram increased. Initially, the first time it was Ganga, the big well that you see next to the dining hall, kitchen. It's between Pradhan Mandir and the staircase of the kitchen. Bhagwan named it Ganga. It was done 30 feet deep, but it was not responding well. At one point, the water began to decrease. There was another borewell made on the other side of Pradhan Mandir, where all those neem trees are there, near the breakfast hut on this side. Now that had very poor yield. The water diviners and the water table researchers had given it up as hopeless. There was no way they could revive it. So put together both the borewell and the big well were not responding to our expectations. So there was a suggestion, speculation, that we should do the third one. Give up these two and find a new location for drilling another bore well. When this was suggested to Bhagwan, Bhagwan said, "No money, we will not start a new one. The old ones will work by Father's grace." And then the next day morning when he came to the ashram, he said, "Mani, take me to the bore well." So immediately he was taken there. And then he put one hand on Shri Mani's shoulders and then lifted his leg, one of his legs, and put it on the mouth of the bore well, the opening of the bore well, and pressed it, much in the fashion of Lord Shiva of Kailash, when Ravana was trying to lift the whole Kailash mountain with his hand. The rest is well known to people, it's history. Now Bhagavan pressed it down, and then he touched the pipeline also and said, "Mani, you start the motor now." And then the water gushed out, to the surprise, delight of everyone around. It took 200 liters to come out to fill up a barrel. It took 90 minutes to fill up a barrel with 200 liters of water previously. And now, after Bhagwan touched it with the sole of his foot, the water was gushing out the rate of the same 200 liters in 20 minutes. Until this day it is working. Bhagwan named it Saraswati. The first one, the big well that was dug, the beginning, the very beginning of the ashram, the only source of water then. In the summer, it began to decrease, the water level began to decrease. At one point, it looked as if there was not going to be any water at all, that the well would dry up. So Bhagwan said, "Let us deepen the well." He chose 2 devotees to sponsor it. And then within 15 days, the deepening of the well took place. And to their surprise, not exactly surprise, because by then the miracles were the order of the day. There was nothing miraculous about the miracle that happened around Bhagwan. It became an everyday affair. And they found 3 or 4 springs at that level. Until this day, it has not dried up at all. So it became Ganga, true to its name, ever flowing. So we have now Ganga and Saraswati, but Yamuna was still waiting to come. At one point, some 250 people had to work. The Swagat Mandap was over in 94 December. Jayanti itself was celebrated there. And then the meditation hall over there. And then the Pradhan Mandir. And then we had the dining hall. One after the other, the buildings were coming up, and the Pradhan Mandir was also taken up for building. Now the water requirements increased so much that we needed one more bore well. Now the water diviner suggested the southeast corner of the ashram. That is just behind the Ved Pathshala today. And Bhagwan agreed. And then the drilling machine was brought out, and it started drilling into the earth. Now 100 feet, 200 feet, 250 feet, 290, and still there was no sign of water. What was fountaining up from the bore was only this black, greyish black stone dust. It's all rocky area. The ashram itself is the continuation of the mountain, and so there were only rocks. All the greens that you see today in the ashram were done after the ashram was started. So you see, it was fountaining up this stone dust, and there was no sign of water. And the drillers said, look, the capacity of our drilling machine is only 300 feet. We have already reached 290 and only 10 more feet. And after that, this machine will become inefficient. And what's more, once we pull out, we have to find a new location. A new drilling machine with more capacity has to be brought. So they gave sufficient warning. Now Shri Mani was in a dilemma. He did not know what to do. The water diviner had chosen the place and Bhagwan had agreed. So how could it not come? What a test for everyone there. When it reached about 295, he could no more stand there. He took some dust, some sample of the dust that was pouring out, and he ran to the old Darshan Mandir where Bhagwan was giving darshan. A little agitated, Shri Mani reported, "See, Swami, this is the dust. This is all that we get." Then Bhagwan, so he said, he did not ask Bhagwan, 290 and only 10 more feet, what to do now? Instead, he said, Bhagwan, we are not finding water. Shall we find a new location and start a new drilling? I don't remember exactly the words, but then it was something to this effect that he asked. Then Bhagwan very emphatically said, no money, no new drilling, no new locations. You have to go on drilling in the same place, even if it means 500 feet. And then he started to laugh. Then you can imagine the plight of Shri Mani. He didn't know how to respond to this. So he decided, okay, I have to go and tell those drillers that they should go ahead up till the capacity 300 feet. After that, we have to see what could be done. It's only when he was returning to the drilling site, it struck him, instead of asking Bhagwan what to do now, he had suggested already a new location and a new drilling. So Bhagwan said, you go on the same place. Even if it means 500 feet, do not stop. So as he was just halfway through to the drilling site, somebody came running. And what was more, something attracted his attention. What? The fountaining up of stone dust had stopped, and instead 10 feet high water was gushing out. To the delight, to the joy of everybody around. Just when the machine was reaching its capacity, this miracle happened. This is what happens in our life also. We are driven to the very edge. And just when we think that we have to go over the edge, fall into the deep, suddenly Bhagwan comes and lifts us up, cushions us before we touch the ground. It has happened to me several times, and it's happened to many devotees. The life would throw us up to a very large height, and then as we come down crashing, just before we touch the ground, when we are thinking that we will go to 1,000 pieces, Bhagwan would be there with stretched hands to cushion us, to hold us. So the drilling machine completed its job, to the joy of everyone, to the joy and satisfaction of the drillers and the devotees. Bhagwan named it Yamuna. No wonder Bhagwan laughed, because the goal was within a few feet. The drillers and Shri Mani did not know that. And Bhagwan knew. When Bhagwan said something, it could mean only one thing, that it's possible. He would suggest only the possibilities. It would be very difficult sometimes, put us through many hardships, but still, it's an achievable end. It's inevitable. Bhagavan would not give any job to anybody if it's not possible for them to do it. So now we have the ashram, three water bodies, the Ganga, the Yamuna, and Saraswati. So you can imagine they built a tank, a big tank, which would hold 1 lakh liters of water from all the three sources. The water is supplied sufficient to all the places in the ashram now. So people, we are all every day, without having to go to Kashi or any other place. When Bhagavan said it's Ganga, it is Ganga, it's become Ganga at that very moment, because their words are truth. So we are having our bath every day in the Ganges water. We are drinking Yamuna water. We are using Saraswati water. The ashram is Triveni Sangamam. It is the Prayag. So we have been blessed with the Triveni Sangamam right here in the ashram. I remember another incident that this Pradhan Mandir, it's nearly 25,000 square feet. And the longest is, I think, 220 feet or something. And the breadth, the broad middle, is about 145 feet. Now they needed to build up to 24, 25 feet wall for the Pradhan Mandir. And they needed many bricks for that. Shri Mani said, he came and said to Bhagwan, Bhagwan, we have searched in and around Tiruvannamalai. We are not getting quality bricks. How much will you need money? We need at least 1 lakh bricks, good quality bricks. Then Bhagwan said, don't worry, Mani. This is my father's ashram. This is my father's work. Father will give, definitely. You don't worry. So Mani was wondering how not to worry, because the work had to be done. It was pressing upon him. But all the same, Bhagwan had said so there would be some opening somewhere. And had he not been used to the miracles day after day, the presence of Bhagwan, how the very nature obeyed him, how everything got arranged very spontaneously when they needed something. Now he started to work. He went to the spot where the workers are already at work. And then he saw somebody standing there the next day. That was the next day. He saw somebody standing there outside the ashram. He dismissed it immediately, thinking that it was somebody probably for something, waiting for one of the workers or something. And then he was going about his day's work. And then in the evening again he saw this man standing there, been standing there for hours now. So finally he was forced to go and ask this man why he was standing there. And that man said, I have a brick kiln in Tirukkovilur. We make quality bricks there. And people said that there is so much of construction going on here. You see, I am in financial straits right now. I need money. And so I thought if you would need, I could supply. Mani was not surprised this time because by now he was used to so many miracles. He said, okay, we have to come and see, find out its quality. And then he asked before that, okay, but we need a large amount. How much do you have? And that man said, 1 lakh. 1 lakh bricks are with me. And I need to sell it because I am in a financial crisis. So you can imagine how overwhelmed money should have been. This is how day after day, whenever there was a need, whatever was needed was provided spontaneously by the providence. Bhagwan, in and around Bhagwan, in and around the ashram, every day, there was something or the other happening in the vibrant presence of Bhagavan. There are many more wonders to share. We shall stop with this today and appeal to Bhagavan for relief from today's situation in the world. You see, by constructing Ganga, Yamuna and Saraswati, the Prayag in the ashram, Bhagwan said once, the ashram would be like Ananda Ashram. There would be joy, peace and love. It will be a Triveni Sangamam of joy, peace and love. And when he gave orders for construction, he said, money, there should be divinity, beauty and durability. These three are the ideals for any construction in the ashram. So it is Triveni Sangam all round. Let us pray to Bhagwan that the ashram should become a Triveni Sangamam of joy, peace and love. A sanctuary for people who seek solace and succor from their everyday problems. Bhagwan, that today's one problem which is affecting the whole world is this corona crisis. We have been praying to you for the past 10.5 months. I think it started on March 16th. Now it's December. All these days, every day, both the times of the day, we have been praying and praying and praying to you for your immediate divine intervention in order to free this world from the clutches of this dreadful virus, in order to remove the panic from the hearts of people, in order to arrest the spread of the disease. As I say this, I remember a certain message that came to me today from one of the devotees from Pune. The message says, in today's world, there are only 2 countries where the spread of the disease is contained. One of the 2 is India. The other one is Argentina. In the Europe and the Americas, the spread is so much so there's a second lockdown. And there are many deaths also. Our prayer to Bhagwan has not gone waste. It cannot go waste. It will happen to the whole world soon. The disease, the spread of the disease will be stopped, arrested, and there would be no panic in the hearts of people, and the whole world will return to normalcy in every aspect of life. And we have found a vaccine, and the vaccination drive is on. We will pray to Bhagwan to enter this vaccine and make it potent. And what's more, that it should reach out to the right people who need it very badly. And Bhagwan, all these brave soldiers who are in the field, still fighting the disease for the sake of the others, at the very risk of their lives, please give them protection and a boost to the economy. And above all, please bless us to remember you constantly, chant your Nama constantly, and go about our daily life as a fitting instrument, as a fine instrument in your hands. Jai Yogi Ramsuratkumar.